Hello everyone, it's Brohun here. I'm bringing you a build for Diablo 4 Hardcore for Vessel of Hatred for Spiritborn. I've been cooking something very special for you, and I'm going to briefly show you what is the idea of the build and why it is basically immortal. Then I'm gonna quickly showcase you this in action, then we're gonna go into details. So the build functions with 100% dodge, 100% block, 100% unstoppable. So basically you're untouchable and you're zooming around the map by the virtue of like teleporting and very fast movement skills. And the only thing that you're really taking damage from is ground effects like fire or poison on the floor, because those cannot be dodged or blocked. But you still have, in case you fuck up or something weird happens, you still have full resolve, resolve stacks, you have full fortify, you have full armor, and if you want, you might have full resistances, which I don't yet, because this build is very fresh. I basically got to 60 yesterday, and I've been testing various versions of this build, and hopefully you guys can help me perfect this. So let's see the defensive stats. You're gonna see that dodge chance is 33 for now, block chance is 18, and we're gonna start hitting this dummy right now. So you're gonna notice that maybe I should do this like this, that basically we have 100% dodge forever, and it's never going away. And we can keep it up throughout the dungeon, throughout like infernal hordes, throughout any content we're really doing. This is not an issue. The only issue is that you have to have stuff to hit. So between packs sometimes we drop it, but between packs it doesn't matter because we have we're not getting hit between packs, right? So that is how this works. Let's quickly see it in action in a dungeon. We are currently in Torment 2 because our damage is not the highest. Let's maybe say it like this, but it's just because of the damage, and I am working on fixing the damage, but I don't have the gear yet, so maybe you guys can help me out, also figure out some ideas on how to fix the damage. Alright, so this is a normal nightmare dungeon on Torment 2. We'll see how it goes, and as you can see, I'm not even basically not even looking at the screen. I'm just pressing buttons, and oh, we got a glyph. As you can see, I'm still even dropping glyphs because we really have just like I think like a single working glyph right now, maybe two, because I just haven't dropped them yet. Like I have a couple that I really want, and I still haven't dropped them. So as you can see, like we are permanently unstoppable. The dodges are there all the time, and the mobs are just, you know, dying. And there is zero threat. This is hardcore, so I wanted something that will be very hard to die, and there is just not much more to say on this. Like it's very safe. The only thing it is it's a little nauseating on the let's say the eyes, or your like vertigo sense, because a lot is happening on the screen. But other than that, really it's fine. You can get used to it. Or I'm honestly not even looking at the screen, I'm just looking at the bars, because it's better for my for my mind, not to see what's even going on, because there is just too much, honestly. All right, let's find the boss so we can see how the boss. It's just a nightmare dungeon, so it's not nothing, you know, crazy. But it's still Torment 2, and I'm just ignoring the mob mechanics, really, right? So, and as I said, we're at Torment 2 mostly because of our own damage and not the damage of the mobs. The damage of the mobs doesn't really matter. So here we're approaching a boss, and it's really this one actually has ground effects, I believe, so it might be relevant. You're gonna see our HP drop a little bit, but only during ground effects, and it's honestly usually fairly manageable as long as we keep some attention to it. So as I said, damage is really, you know, nothing special, nothing to write home about, but it's not horrible, I don't think, at least. Alright, so let me quickly explain, I mean hopefully quickly, how this works, and how do you make this build work, and what are the mechanics behind it. It's fairly simple, but I haven't seen anyone doing it this way, so that's why I'm making this video really for you. Alright, so the main mechanic is, as you might have seen, the incarnate skills that make you basically immortal. Most importantly, this one, counterattack, which, as you will see, if you press it, normally it gives you 10% dodge, but if you press it, it gives you dodge all direct attacks for 3 seconds per cast, up to 6 seconds. So that basically means that when we press it, like now we have 33%, let's press it, and now we have 133%, meaning we gain 100% dodge when we click it. And when we click it, you're gonna see like a little green bar going here, which is a duration of it, which are those 3 seconds that are mentioned. Boom. And if we click it again, we extend the duration to 6 seconds. Okay, but as you can see, the cooldown of it is like 15, and it's already lowered. I believe base is like 20. So it requires some work for us to extend this duration so it's permanent. So how do we extend it? We do it twofold. We extend the duration, but we also reduce the cooldown. We only really need one of these because, well, that's not true. We need both. Alright, other than that, we also use Ravager, which is the same principle. It's just for more damage and for teleporting on our Rake, which is our damage skill of choice. And we also use Armored Hide for 100% block and filling up the resolve instantly. I don't even know if this is needed, but this is hardcore, so I want it to be, you know, 1000% good. And the resolve actually is gonna help us on the damage, I hope. So, but it's not yet because I don't have the glyph. Alright, the other main component of this build is a skill called Rushing Claw, which I honestly hate, but it is mandatory for this to work. And we're using Soar as a vulnerability enabler, basically, nothing else. It's a little bit of mobility, but as you could see, the build is pretty mobile. It's just for work, like moving between packs, and vulnerability for bosses and like tough elites. And Rake is our main damage and ferocity generator. So the most important thing you need, and that is like 1000% mandatory, is this weapon, Rod of Kapelke, I don't know. So you need a level 60 character for this build to start to function. And I'm also using Harmony of Bewaka for more damage, and Ring of the Midnight Sun also for more damage. And I'm not sure about this one, to be honest. I'm not even sure if we need it, but it seems good. I don't know. So the main way we are actually enabling this whole combo to happen is, where is it? Here. This legendary aspect for casting Rushing Claw extends the duration of your active incarnate skills by, for my case, 1 second up to 8 seconds. So basically this means that if I press counter attack and start spamming Rushing Claw, you're gonna see the bar like manipulated, the green little bar, meaning that the duration is extended. So let's see. As you can see, the green bar is has been moved, and we didn't do 3 seconds, we did like 7 seconds because we casted Rushing Claw 4 times. So the Rushing Claw has this property, which is actually an enhancement, I believe what it's called. It's here. Invasive Rushing Claw. If we use it 4 times, I mean, if you use the last charge while having at least 4 stacks of ferocity, we consume those stacks of ferocity and refilled 4 charges. So what that gives us is that we basically have 3 stacks of ferocity as baseline, and if we use Rake just once, we go to 5 ferocity stacks, meaning that if I use Rake once and then I start spamming Rushing Claw, you're gonna see that I used it 4 times, but I already have 4 stacks again by using the ferocity stacks. That's why we basically keep using Rake and can keep using Rushing Claw forever with 0 cooldown, 0 cost. It's just extremely annoying, you know, but it works. That if we add, now we're spamming Rake and spamming Rushing Claw, so if we add to that putting the counter attack on, you will see that basically this doesn't end. I mean, it does because the legendary aspect has a limit, but we press counter attack again and we start the whole thing all over. And we just keep pressing counter attack like every 10 seconds or so, or whenever we see the bar approaching the end. And this is just never going to end. After a while, you might actually just start pressing counter attack only without Rushing Claws, but that is because with Rod of Peleke, which is the mandatory part of the build, we are changing the Rake skill from core to core and basic skill at the same time, and it's free to cast. It's free to cast but it uses all your vigor if you cast it at maximum vigor. Basically, you'll see that if it's at maximum vigor, it's gonna drain all of our vigor and do like a bigger hit. So that is why we're using this, so we can just spam Rake without thinking about anything, because this is how we gain our ferocity stacks. Well, there is a couple more things working here why we are able to exploit it basically. So there is a keystone passive here called Prodigy's Tempo, meaning that which says that every 3rd consecutive cast of the same core or potency skill reduces all skills active cooldown by 10%, increased by 2% for each of their skills ranks. So we'll use Armored Hide as an example. We'll use counter attack, whatever. And we're just gonna press counter attack and twice to get 6 seconds, and just press Rake, nothing else. And you'll see that the cooldown is already up before we even have 6 seconds. 6 seconds have passed. So that is the second part of this keystone. Basically, we have enough attack speed to just keep pressing Rake and counter attack even without the Rushing Claw. Really, it's that sometimes we're not gonna to be able to constantly attack, and we still want to keep the counter attack on. We just don't want any gaps in it, no matter the circumstance, in the dungeon or in Infernal Hordes. That's why we're using Rushing Claw. Because, to be honest, we don't even need it for movement, because if we put Ravager up, it makes our core skills teleport. So we don't even need it for movement necessarily. Alright. So that is really the gist of the build explained. Let's see if there is like anything we should go over that is not... Well, oh, there's important part as well, which is reducing the cooldown. Hitting at least one enemy with Rake reduces the longest active cooldown by half a second. We also have an aspect that makes Rake cast like twice. You'll see that if we cast it once, there's actually a spirit that comes and casts it a second time. So that's 2 casts, so that's 1 second of reduced cooldown per cast. Plus whatever is happening here, meaning the reduced cooldown is happening a lot, and importantly, it is happening even if we are mixing in the Rushing Claw, meaning that even if we're not using the 3 consecutive core skills, it's the cooldown reduction is still happening, which is really good. What else do we really need to discuss? We are permanently unstoppable. Or maybe we go to Spirit Hall. We use Centipede to make sure the mobs are CC'd constantly and to make sure that the skills are Centipede type, aside from Jaguar. And we're using Gorilla for this. When you have at least 5 stacks of resolves, you are unstoppable. We're, as you can see, permanently at 10 stacks of resolve, sometimes at 9 if we get hit like once or something. Resolve is a defensive mechanic from Gorilla. And making us unstoppable makes it so that we don't really need to pay attention to what's happening on the screen. Because like we cannot get CC'd, we cannot get hit. As I said, it's only the ground effects that are doing any damage to us. And for example, in Infernal Hordes, it doesn't matter because we are healing a little bit from kills. So it's just not possible to die from ground effects when there is like a lot of mobs. It's only dangerous with bosses that have ground effects. And admittedly, those are not rare. But it's still manageable. You can work around it. It just requires a little brain when the rest of the build doesn't require any brain. All right. Very super quickly, we put points in Rake and make sure it's advantageous Rake. We will get some bonuses here for more core skill damage and for vigor generation, because honestly I didn't even know where to put the points elsewhere. The skill is also a basic skill, as you can see, both core and basic, so we put follow through. We use Soar for vulnerable, and since we're doing vulnerable, we pick those points up. It's a quarterstaff, so we don't really need this focal point. Mirage for more crit chance, because we're gonna constantly be dodging, I'm sorry. So we're gonna get more crit chance, which is really important, and really good points here. And since we're always unstoppable, we are also picking up this one. We use Ravager with to make our core skills teleport us to the enemy and to increase the vigor generation and to get some more damage. And we're picking up this for damage reduction just in case, and this one we don't need. This one for healing in AoE situations. It's really good in case we get like hit with a weird ground effect or something. We're gonna instantly heal this up. Counterattack, the centerpiece of the build. You don't need more points in either of these. I tested it and it makes no difference. What's important is that you pick this one for sure. This one I don't think it's like needed, but it's more damage, so I picked it up. But here the counterattack is cooldown is reduced, and we want the cooldown as low as possible. We pick this for resilient for more HP just in case, because we have gorilla skills. Maybe I forgot to mention this helmet makes it so that our skills are all 3 types, so it's Jaguar and Centipede and Gorilla. If you see, it's both Jaguar, Gorilla and Centipede right here, and it makes it so that the more types we have, the more damage we do. But it also helps with some passives, specifically like with like here, and like here, because this you will see that you require Centipede skills. And also Centipede is really good because it makes enemies CC'd when we heal them, when we hit them, and you know, you can leverage some damage to crowd control the enemies, for example. Alright, to continue, maybe finish this up. Of course, Rushing Claw with Invasive Rushing Claw, and then Prodigy's Tempo. This can definitely be improved, but this is just what I cooked since yesterday. We're using hair for survivability. I don't even know if this is needed, but I don't know what to do with this. And here I don't know what to do either. Like, please make suggestions if you can, if you want to. And for paragons, I don't know. This is what I have. We're picking up Infighter, and we're picking up Sapping, and we're gonna pick up Revealing, because as I said, we crowd control enemies by slowing, so, and we do some vulnerable, so this might be good. Most importantly though, are of course the glyphs. I use this one for Hone, for Jaguar skills. I'm gonna use the Colossal for Gorilla. Here I don't even have anything because I'm very poor for when it comes to glyphs. Like, I'm still gathering them. And here I don't have anything either, Jesus. And here I just have the basic one that I got on level 1. Basically, I don't know what to put here yet. I know there's gonna be Colossal, and I know it's gonna be this one, whatever this is called, Hone. But other than that, I don't know. So please put your suggestions in the comments. There really isn't much to talk about. I'll quickly show the gear just so you can see it. It's really bad, but you can see the legendary aspects I've picked. Mostly this one is for Fortify, this one is for damage, this one is for more ferocity stacks, which is attack speed for us, and it's also making sure that we have ferocity stacks for Rushing Claw. This one is for attack speed and for damage. This is a legend, this is the unique, and Rake. This is mandatory one actually, so that Rake casts a second time. I think this is like absolutely mandatory. Alright, that's it for the build for now. Let me know what you think and how you would improve it, because I'm honestly not that great at build crafting. But I hope this helped you, and see you in the next video.